Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning. Good evening. And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits. Hopefully you guys are all well. Seriously, have mercy. I had quite the Saturday. But again, guys, there are some things that are going on, and we are... How do I say this? I am dreading going through this. There's no other way to say this. Just to be completely real with y'all. All right. This is a case that we've talked about for a long time. Okay. And then we stopped for a long time until most recently. Some things have been popping off. And yeah, we are here to listen and hear everything that's going on in these calls. But you're going to hear a lot of opinions from me here, just so you guys know. All right. But of course, we're here to hear some of these facts and some of this information, and we got to get it moving. So do me a favor, hit that like button down below, crush it, do what to do, hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. If you are watching on those other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, make sure you hit that follow button, okay? I'm on all those platforms. Please and thank you. Don't forget to subscribe here on my main channel. Go to my secondary channel, my second channel. I have another one. It's called The Pascal Show Clips. Go over there and subscribe over there as well. That'd be greatly appreciated, all right? Hit that notification bell so you know on both channels, so you know whenever I upload, whenever I go live, because a lot of times it's random, okay? So, or it's breaking news, if that makes any sense. So please do that for me. That'll be greatly appreciated. Subscribe. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals. And don't forget, check out pascalmerch.com. Again, pascalmerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. I'm telling you, go check it out. I'm sure you're going to find something you're going to absolutely love. Okay. All right, guys, we got some things to get into. We got some things to have a conversation about. And one of the main things is we have got to talk about the Madeline Soto case. And here's the thing. We already know, and of course, let me just pull this up because we do have this Jailhouse calls that we are going to be looking at here very, very shortly. But of course, I know a lot of us are wanting a breakdown and understanding of what actually happened, or, just a quick reminder of everything that has happened. Well, this young girl by the name of Madeline Soto, she was only 13. She had just turned 13 years old when she went missing after her mom was notified that she did not show up to school at the end of the school day. Of course, she went missing for days, and she was found. Of course, this is a very, very brief breakdown, but weeks later, her body was discovered in a wooded area in St. Cloud, Florida. Okay. Now, of course, they are saying that her autopsy results came back saying that she was someone put their hands on her, stifling her to her demise, if that makes any sense. Of course, we got to use a lot of code words here. Now, the person on the left of your screen, okay, that hairy looking, Neanderthal looking, Sasquatch looking, piece of trash looking mother lover, you're only going to hear me say his name once, and it's going to be right now. This piece of trash, his name is Stephan Sterns. This piece of trash, I call him pig vomit. You're going to hear that a lot now. Get used to it. Got a problem with it? Don't care. He's pig vomit. All right. He is the person to have taken her out of the house, take her remains out of the house, put her in a car, drive her out into a wooded area, throw her in this wooded area, discard her remains, cover her up with dead leaves and stuff in the area, jump back in his car and drive off. Now, there's a lot of other things that got him caught and all that we found out throughout the course of this situation. How he got caught, why, what was going on. We don't know a why. We don't know a full reason of why he took this young, precious girl's life. We still do not know. All right. And this man has the audacity to be out here trying to act like he is innocent. He is not. This piece of trash, this monster did this. And there's nothing you can change, nothing you could say to change anyone's minds on pig vomit, period. Okay? But I digress. I'm kind of hopping all over the place because obviously this is a case that has made me feel some type of way for a very long time. One of the main things that really aggravates me and angers me so much is that pig vomit and his girlfriend, the mother of Madeline Soto, her name is Jenny. I call her Jenny. All right. They were in interviews, all up on the videos, all up in these interviews, talking about how they're trying to find their beloved Maddie, not knowing where she was, lying to the public, lying to the news, only for her to be found gone, and only to find out that this piece of trash was the one to discard her remains. Now, there still is a lot of questions. Okay, let me just say this first off. Let me just give applause to, because there's been a lot more information that is dropped and over the past several months. And shout out to all the internet sleuths, the true crimers out there that have been staying so diligently on this case. There's been a lot of interviews. There's been hours and hours of interviews that have been released on both sides, not only just with pig vomit, but also with Jenny. Okay. Just talking about all of this. Okay. And so far, it seems as if, which I don't agree with at all, but it seems so far that Jenny had no clue. It doesn't even feel right saying out my mouth. The words that are coming out my mouth, I still don't even believe it. But that she had no earthly clue. We learned, okay, that they would have little, I guess, quote unquote, little sleepovers where Maddie would be sharing the same bed as pig vomit, just so that Jenny could get some sleep. And this is one of the main things that happened, one of the last things that happened before Madeline lost her life. And of course, when Madeline allegedly went missing, right? Apparently, Jenny wanted some sleep because she had a long day of work the next day. She wanted to get a good night's rest. Madeline went and shared a room and a bed with this piece of trash up on the second floor. Room number 4, if I remember correctly. A room that had all kinds of different things that shouldn't be in a room with a 12 going on 13, freshly new 13-year-old girls. It should not even be in the same room as stuff like this. It's unbelievable. Then on top of it, after he is caught, he's processed, all that stuff, they find terabytes of content that I can't even say, can't even reiterate. But you get what I'm saying. Content upon content upon content starring this little girl right here. Pig vomit. Get used to it. That is his name. Now, recently, I'm going to say this too. Now, recently, of course, I apologize. My timeline is all over the place. Okay. I'm just shooting from the hip. Okay. Speaking with passion, because this story angers me beyond. I can't explain to you how angry I am about this. This is not a man. Okay. But I feel some type of way, obviously, about this case because this was right around the same time Sebastian Rogers went missing. This is around the same time that both families were having interviews with the news, and they both looked fairly sketchy, with all due respect. All right. This is around the same doggone time. And guess what? Sebastian Rogers still has not been found. No one knows where he is. Of course, the true crime streets have been running amok, and it's been wild with that Sebastian Rogers case. But what's interesting is things that were going on. It was kind of like a common theme where everyone was side-eyeing not only just Sebastian Rogers' biological mother and his stepfather, but also side-eyeing the hell out of Jenna and Pig Vomit. And rightfully so. Because what was later revealed weeks later was that this piece of trash was making content with this young girl. And there's still a question of, did he make content with other people? And he was making terabytes of content. What was that content really for? Was there some dark underbelly of a group of people that he was sending these things through the dark web? What was exactly his reason for this kind of content? Content that a young girl like her should not be caught on tape or video or pictures doing at all. We are still wanting to know what's going on here. And B12, yeah, I keep thinking maybe it has to do with some money, but this man was always acting like he was broke. Wasn't he, though? Now, the thing is that when it comes to all of this, okay, I think that this is deeper than what we know. I truly do. In fact, let me just pull something up here really quick, because of course, this is something that just happened a few days ago. I know some people were watching this this whole thing, and of course, I have my questions as well. But hold on. Hold on 1 second. Come on, where you at? Okay, let me grab this so we can see this really quick. So just so you know, just a few days ago, he had a hearing. Yes, Stephan Sterns actually showed up to his own hearing. One of his arraignments, when he first was arrested, he did not show up to his own hearing when he first was arrested. This is the first time that he's actually seen in person fighting for something I think is ridiculous, in my personal opinion. Okay. And what I think is a big, huge waste of time. Okay. But let's take a look at this really quick. We're going to look at the jailhouse calls here in just a second. But this is what was going on here. And we got to talk about this too.
The man accused of killing 13-year-old Madeline Soto will try to block the public from coming to his court hearings. Investigators have accused Stephan Sterns of murdering Maddie last year after sexually abusing her for years. West 2's Bob Hazen is live at the Osceola County Courthouse this morning. Bob, Stephan Sterns' attorneys don't think he'll get a fair trial.
And they'll be here in court this morning arguing that all of the court hearings before he goes on trial should be behind closed doors. They filed a motion that says, quote, at every court proceeding, however minor or inconsequential, there's been extensive coverage by the press as well as social media users. And they say it is anticipated that the press will continue to be active and aggressive in the coverage of all events and proceedings in this case.
Now, again, let me just say this really quick. Shut up. Pig Vomit needs to shut up. Why does he need to shut up? He's more concerned about the people out here that are enraged. Social media that has taken a very huge interest in this case. He's more concerned about that than actually facing the music. He's more concerned saying, oh, no, I don't want anybody to come in. We got to make this whole thing closed and blah, blah, blah. Wait, why? Because you're worried about the public reacting in the way that they are reacting, which is rightfully so. You really think you can get away with getting this to be closed when you just did this to this little one? Are you out of your freaking mind? This doesn't make any sense. The audacity of this piece of trash, the absolute audacity. Pig vomit, something wrong with you. Clearly something wrong with you. But the fact that you are more concerned about closing these court hearings because what are you worried about? Nobody going to do anything to you. They're just going to sit there. They might hurl some words at you. But what are they going to do? They can't do anything in court. All they can do is sit there and look at you and cheer when you are sentenced. Period. It's unbelievable to me, guys. Unbelievable. But hey, this is the system. These are the breaks. That's what he wants to do. That's what he wants to do. But you got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me.
Sterns, you'll remember, was the boyfriend of Maddie Soto's mother. Police say they found evidence on his phone that he'd been raping her for years and recording it. He allegedly murdered the little girl last year, a day after her 13th birthday party. It's a heartbreaking and very high-profile case. His attorneys claim there will be hearings where they have to talk about the evidence and Sterns' statements to police. And if the public knows about all of it, it would make it impossible for him to have a fair trial. Several media companies, including Wesh 2, have a lawyer fighting to keep those hearings open. She argues that Florida law is clear that open courts are essential to the process and, quote, open and transparent judicial proceedings increase public confidence in the judicial process, enhance the credibility, legitimacy, and integrity of the courts, and protect the rights of all entities involved.
Let me just pull that up without that screen, that little video screen thing, whatever, that thumbnail that just popped up. Okay? Open and transparent judicial proceedings increase public confidence in the judicial process. Enhance the credibility, legitimacy, and integrity of the courts, and protects the rights of all entities involved. Now, let me just say this, okay? This is ridiculous, okay? I agree 100% that this is important, that the public sees, okay, if you get caught, you see what I'm saying? You pay the pot, what is it? You do the crime, you pay the crime. You do the crime, you pay the time. That's what I meant, right? And that justice is coming. It doesn't matter. It does not matter how many ways you can sit there and go, no, but see, you shouldn't be having this stuff. It's because of the wind. Yeah, it's because of the wind. Shut up. You're scared that justice is coming to you, which it most definitely is, because you guilty as hell, and you just don't want everybody and their mama all up in your ass. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to be all up in it. There's nothing they can do about it. Real talk. You could try all you can, but at the same time, this shows that justice does, not all the time, but sometimes justice works on the victim's favor or in the victim's favor. So the fact that he's sitting here trying to spin it, trying to sit there and go, no, I don't want to have this. Well, you should have thought about this. Okay? You should have thought about that or realized that was going to happen eventually when you were doing these disgusting, deplorable things with Maddie. Let's keep it real. You should have known that justice was coming at some point. The other thing, too, is that you got to remember there was countless videos and photos on his phone, on his computer, terabytes of content, y'all. Terabytes. He was doing this with this young child for several years. This wasn't just for like a month. This was several years. Several. Oh, let's not forget this. I forgot to tell you this too. You remember the time when he tried to say that he accidentally he accidentally hit the factory reset on his phone? Yeah, that sounds like a punchline. Real talk. He said, "Oh no, I forgot that I accidentally hit the factory reset button on my phone, and I just didn't know. I'm just trying to find our angel." Remember that crap? Remember that? Those are the workings of a guilty monster. Those are the workings of somebody who is weak. Sorry. Because, instantly you think, like, if you are a parent, instantly you think about your own kid, right? You know what I'm saying? You instantly think about your own kid, or maybe it's your niece or nephew. You see what I'm saying? And if you are a family person, if it's really like Vin Diesel, Fast and the Furious, where it's family over everything, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Doesn't matter. You don't even need to have kids. You don't even need to sire your own children. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It puts a fire in you. It puts an anger in you that you've never thought existed. Because you instantly think about, but what if it was my kid? What if this was my niece or nephew and I didn't know for several years? This transcends anger. And the fact that this person, man, we're going to take a look, because it's been a minute, guys. It's been a minute. We're just gonna, if I can find it. There it is. We're gonna take a trip down memory lane for a second here before we go into these jailhouse calls. Okay. And for those of y'all who don't know, if you're not reading the title up above or down below, the jailhouse calls have been revealed. Okay. And don't worry, we gonna see that crusty hat one more again. Okay. Crusty. All right. Like he should have retired that hat a long time ago. That hat was having conversations with that dude, being like, please let me go. You know what I mean? It's bad. We're going to see it here in a second. All right. But that's how crusty this mother loving pig vomit is. I said it and I don't give a damn. Now, real quick, we're not watching the whole doggone thing, but I want you guys to see a little bit. Like I said, it's been a long time since we talked about this mother lover, since we talked about pig vomit. And we need to bring awareness to this because, again, jailhouse calls have been revealed, have been released. We're going to be listening to a part of it. Okay. There's like at least 2.5 hours worth of jailhouse calls. So we're going to be listening to the first like hour of jailhouse calls. All right. And then we'll do a part 2, which we'll go through the whole rest of the chunk here in the near future. But again, I wanted us to take a listen to this so we can hear all of this ourselves. But this mother lover really had the audacity, and we listened to a lot of these interviews in the past. Like I said, this is old, but it's just a nice refresher. Now, we all remember Jenna, okay? Now, I still truly believe. Now, again, I have not been on top of this case like a lot of these other content creators. And by the way, like I said, I'm going to give shout outs and give credit where credit is due. Okay. And there's a lot of content creators over the past several months that have been really, really on top of this case. And I commend every single last one of them for staying on top of this. There's been a lot of people being able to get through FOIA, getting certain documents, certain interviews, and all that stuff to put out to us. You know what I mean? Which is, of course, appreciated. All right, and so of course we have to give credit where credit is due. But This is from back in the day. This is when Maddie initially went missing. This is only a few days after she had celebrated her 13th birthday. And then literally the very next morning, she was gone. And there's been a lot of theories. There's been a lot of questions. But even for myself, even though Jenna has not been hit with any type of charges at all whatsoever, something about this tells me, for me, that she should be getting hit with some sort of charge. And I'm shocked that she isn't getting hit with any type of charges. The other thing I could say in my mind is maybe she is not, maybe the biggest punishment is walking throughout this world with this tattooed on your forehead, with this shame. Maybe, I don't know. Because forever, she will forever be known as Jenna, the one who didn't know, allegedly. You really think she's going to be able to hold a job, do anything? Really? And I agree, the classic one, okay? I agree, classic. She should be arrested. That's just what I truly believe, because you cannot tell me she did not know at all. It just seems so odd to me. But I know that she's on meds and all kinds of stuff, mental health issues, etc. But at the same time, something about this woman just screams she knew or that she was a part of this ish. Something's not right. Something's not right. But she keeps playing this thing, which we're going to see a few seconds of. And then we're going straight over to crusty ass pig vomit. Let's take a look at this really quick, okay?
I feel like I can't breathe. All I keep thinking about is, where is she? Is she safe? Is she okay? But we're all a wreck. My entire family is a mess. We're just so worried.
When did you first realize, or when did you file a missing report?
We filed a missing report. We called the police at like 4:45 yesterday, 4:45 p.m. But she actually went missing early that morning, around between 8:45 and 9 o'clock in the morning. She went missing.
Now, here's the thing. We all understand now that she was asleep when this whole thing went down. But then at the same time, remember, she says certain things where she's like, I saw her the morning of, which makes no earthly sense. Hence the reason why people are like, wait a second. You say that you didn't see her, but then seconds later, in other interviews, you say that you saw her in the morning of. Were you asleep or you were not asleep? Did you see her or did you not see her? Let's keep it a bean. Quit lying. Quit the freaking lying, right? Now, we're gonna get through this because again, we've all seen this. We've already dissected this like a mother lover, and I do have a playlist, a Madeline Soto playlist. It's in the very beginning. This is when we were just getting introduced to these cast of characters, okay? Because they are characters, okay? But let's get straight over to let's get over to pig vomit, shall we?
All right, the first question is if I can get your first.
Sorry, I gotta go back. Hold on.
Just
Okay. First off, look at that damn hat. Like, it is. That hat is done. That hat it's not even fitted no more. Okay? It's like, ladies, for a fact, when those pantyhose, maybe those stockings that you've worn a few too many times, they just don't have that. They just don't have that cling no more. That's exactly what's going on his mother-loving head. I am sorry. I've said this a million times before, but fellas, quick PSA. If you ever have a hat like this on your head, I'm going to get myself censored. I'm not going to say, exactly what, just to retire it. Okay. That hat is literally saying, please put me down. Throw me in the trash. Okay? That's a hat you wear when you're outside doing landscape work, okay? When you're mowing the mother-loving lawn, okay? You not never seen in public wearing that stuff, especially on an interview on the news. What is wrong with you? You crusty ass. This to me shows like is he trying to turn the back of his hat into a derby? Is he trying to turn the back of his hat into a derby hat? Why does it look like a Sherlock's home hat right now? What is going on here, man? What is going on? The wind blows the right way. It's gone. You know what I'm saying? Just a little tiny gusty. That's holding on for dear life. It is holding on for dear life on his head. Oh my God. Fellas, don't do this. Don't do this. Okay? Or it's like one of those old socks that just doesn't fit no more. Like you put it on and you're walking a few steps and then all of a sudden it's like an ankle sock that the elasticity is done, right? And it's just, so you put it on, you're like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm just going to the gym. But then you go in to the gym, 5 steps into the gym, the sock is already like in the middle of your foot. Underneath in the middle of your damn foot. That's exactly what's on his head right now. The hell is wrong with you? I love you guys. I'm sorry. I have to. It's the hat. Like he turned that into it's a Sherlock Holmes hat. Now it's got the thing and the thing. It's how did the back of your head, how's the back of the hat have its own bill? Somebody explain that to me. Somebody, the hell is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? All right, I'm done. We don't ever have to see him wear that hat ever again, though, which is fantastic news. Okay, with his crusty ass, Sasquatch looking ass. All right, I'm done. Sorry. Just, when they catch the bad guys, for a fact we have to roast them. We have to. Okay, when they're caught red-handed, and him, it's more than just red-handed. Okay. You got to roast him. All right, let's listen to his BS coming out of his mother-loving hole.
All right, the first question is if I can get your first and last name and spell them both out for me.
Stephan Sterns, STEPHAN STERNS.
All right, so Stephan, you seem very emotional right now. Explain to us.
I dropped her off. Everything looked fine when I drove away. It's the last time we saw her.
What were the conversations that y'all had in the car when you dropped her off?
Not much. She was asleep for most of the way. Told her have a good day at school when she got out. I love her. She said thanks, love you too. That was it.
And so where do you think she could possibly be? I mean, this isn't, as I was told, this isn't normal behavior.
This is not normal behavior. She's not the type that would just run off. We don't know where she can be, and we're scared. We just want her home.
Are you, in a sense, blaming yourself?
It's hard not to.
Why?
I dropped her off early. I could have waited longer. She looked okay. She was walking towards the school when I saw her. It was like any other day, so I went on with my day. It's hard not to blame myself.
What has the conversation been with Jen since?
She's been a lot stronger than me. She's been holding it together really well. And, but it just keeps coming in waves. Just the reality keeps hitting. And we don't know where she is.
Okay. I've had enough. Sorry. We've seen it before. I've had enough. Haven't you? Bunch of BS. And I can't look at that hat anymore. I'm sorry. It just adds to the whole thing even more. And definitely, He claims he was the last person to see her alive. He dropped her off. He says he dropped her off at school. She didn't want to get out of the car at school grounds. He was asked to. This is what he says. Okay. Actually, let me put his dusty ass back up here real quick. Okay, with his ugly ass hat. Dusty. All right, fellas, don't do that. I will haunt your dreams. Okay, just don't do it. Retire the damn hat. Moving on, though, he claimed that he was asked to drop her off a little bit back, okay, at this church parking lot area because she didn't want to be seen pulling up in a hoopty, right? Then he saw her getting it out of the car, walking out, saying goodbye to her, saying goodbye to him as she went and walked toward the school. That's the last that he saw of her. Then we saw body cam footage of him going out of his way, trying to be as helpful as he could, when in actuality, he just wanted to find out what actually was going on, right? He just wanted to know how far along were they in the investigation and in the search for Maddie for his own selfish needs. Had nothing to do with the fact that he really wanted to know where she was. It's because he had something that he was 100% the person that took her life and then discarded her body off on the side of the road. That's literally what she did. All right. And of course, we see him with his crocodile tears, with his BS, talking about, we just need a little angel back. And just, when the interviewer is like, do you feel like you have something to do with her disappearance? We just really want to know where she is. And we just don't know where she is. And stop it. And if you really think about it, aside from the countless videos that they have, surveillance videos of her body in the car, it looks like she's asleep in the car, but she's really not. Okay. When he leaves the apartment complex and all that, one of the main things that helped get this guy is a flat tire. His car had a flat tire got a flat tire while he was going and trying to find a place to discard her remains. And so he got a flat tire. He freaked out. He grabbed her remains, dragged her out into this wooded area off the side of the road, threw some debris, basically, dead leaves and whatnot over her body, fixed the wheel to his car, jumped back in and drove off. And his whole excuse was he had to go get vape juice. Yeah, he really did say that. Vape juice. So again, this piece of trash has been out here saying all kinds of things, trying to make it seem like he has done no wrong. And what's even more insane, which is what we're going to get into now, he goes out of his way. This is just part one. We're going to be looking at two different things, but in part one, okay, of our listening party of this whole thing, he literally says, he's saying things in here where it just seems like he's so disconnected, like he has done no wrong. In fact, I am still kind of curious about his parents too. There's something about his parents that just don't make any earthly sense to me at all. Something ain't right. Now, I'm not trying to attack. There's nothing to prove any wrongdoings from the parents or anything of that sort, but there is something about it that seems a little bit odd. I get it. It's their son, it's their kid, but it does make you wonder, where did this spawn from? What is the origin story of all this? Sure, just because he had loving, doting parents, allegedly, does not mean that he couldn't grow up with something happening to him that changed his thought process. For him to do something like what he did to Madeline, which, by the way, I still believe he did more than just Madeline. I'm sorry. I just don't believe that Madeline's the only victim here. I truly believe that there are more. But we have yet to hear anything of that sort as of yet. But there's something interesting about the conversations that he's having with his parents that it just seems a bit odd. And I'm going to say it over and over and over again that I get it, that he is their kid and they got to be supportive to a certain extent. But there's something about this that just seems so off. So let's get into this. These are the Jailhouse phone calls from Stephan Sterns, okay, from Pig Vomit himself. Let's take a listen, shall we? Do me a favor, though. Hit the like button down below, please and thank you. Hit that subscribe button, okay? Don't forget to do that. That'll be greatly appreciated, all right? This is, to me, just absolutely insane. And it just still feels like he's still playing the part of the innocent guy. And maybe he's just known to manipulate his parents. His parents have just been manipulated until now, right? But even so, you'll hear it just doesn't make sense, guys. Let's rock and roll, shall we?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, is this a good time?
Yes. The phone was in the dining room. I was in the office, didn't realize it was ringing, and the second time it rang, I didn't even hear it ringing.
Oh, okay. How's everything going?
Well, good. Everything's fine with us. How about you?
Well, hanging in there so far. Any news or updates on your end?
No.
No? Okay.
How about yours?
Well, I got a chance to look at the autopsy reports.
And?
You can't say.
Oh.
I can't go into too much detail, but raises a lot of questions.
Okay. Well, you don't need to say any more.
Yep.
Did you get the books?
No, not yet. Did you get notification of delivery?
Yes.
Okay, well, I haven't received them yet.
So they arrived in one location. They have to be transported over from that location, which is outside of St. Pete, and then over to Kissimmee.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean,
it goes to Seminole, it goes to Seminole, and then from there it's sent over to you. So, as I said, Seminole is over by St. Pete.
Yeah, and who knows how often, they pick it up, so.
Yeah.
And then they have to sort it and check it out and then deliver it to people. So I guess we'll give it another week or so.
If you get a chance, Stephan, I found a chess set that is a mat, just a roll-up mat, but the pieces are made out of silicone.
I still don't think that'd be allowed.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Well, you can't melt the silicone and do anything, but okay.
No. You can swallow it and choke on it or whatever,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't think about.
Yeah, or jamming into somebody's eye, You gotta think about these things. So last time we talked, you had not found my watch, correct?
Right.
When you went into that box, however, did you see a big plastic purple dragon?
No.
Nope. Big plastic purple dragon?
No.
You were probably in the wrong box then. Said it was in one of the large boxes at the foot of my bed.
No, didn't see any big plastic purple dragon.
Okay, well, in one of those boxes you will find a big plastic purple dragon, and that is one of the popcorn buckets. And that's not the one I'm talking about. That's just to show you that the popcorn buckets look like other things. But in that same box, you'll see a silvery gray looking sort of box with wheels on the bottom and a brown shoulder strap attached to it. That's the mouse droid. In that should be my watch.
The mouse what?
The mouse what?
Droid. M-O-U-S-E droid.
Okay.
What is a mouse droid?
It's looks like a little, almost like a remote control car from Star Wars. You can Google it and see what it looks like, and then find a thing that looks like that with a brown strap attached to it. In that should be my watch, though.
I think we've been through about everything.
All right, purple dragon. All right, well, make a note of that.
The purple dragon is in the mouse droid. But the mouse toy is in the
Okay.
same box as the purple dragon.
Okay.
You got that?
Well, maybe I'll find a Rolex too, because we still haven't found that.
I never had the Rolex.
Okay.
I really
Where is that blue and white little ceramic box that you had that you put stuff in?
That would have been in storage somewhere.
Okay, I thought you had it.
No. No, that would be somewhere in storage.
So really quick, okay. First off, I think it's very interesting that first off, he's asking about a toy. All right, which is just doesn't make any sense. Oh, purple dragon toy, or this, and this. It just doesn't make any sense. Like obviously he collects. He's a collector of like action figures and toys and stuff like that. That's something that we learned, a little bit later on when we were learning more about pig vomit here. But what's interesting about this is that they even mentioned about a Rolex. Like, have you, we still haven't found the Rolex. So clearly he took he took a Rolex, I'm sure, and he pawned it. I'm sure of it. How could he not know, or how could they, Rolexes are not cheap if you didn't know. Okay. I love timepieces. Okay. I really like watches, and Rolexes are not cheap. And a lot of times those are things that are passed on. They end up becoming heirlooms because, let's be real, some of these watches can go as high up. I mean, some of them are just insane. But I mean, the cheapest you can find a Rolex watch is in the thousands, in the low thousands, if you're lucky. And that's probably something that's been, passed down or has been pawned off and all that stuff, right? It's not a cheap timepiece. So the fact that they're sitting there going, where, we're still looking for that Rolex, I'm sure it's something that they've been talking to him about for the longest time. And I'll say this too. You got someone like him who's now been arrested for lying and being deceitful and deplorable for several years in the face of everyone that was around him. I would not be surprised if his family's sitting there going, nah. Do you know where that Rolex is then? Because we now know that you are a masterful liar. He's been lying about this relationship with Maddie for several years, y'all. Lying to everybody's face. So I'm not surprised if Mama said, yeah, we're looking for that Rolex. We're still looking for that Rolex. Because for a fact the parents are like, okay, our kid's a piece of work. Our kid's a liar. So let's find out if he, comes up with the truth now that he's locked up. Maybe he'll finally say, oh, yeah, that Rolex. Yeah. See, what had happened was, at least that's how I see it. If he's been able to successfully lie about what happened to Maddie, lie to not only just Jenna, but to the family, to extended family, to his parents, even to Madeline herself. What are the chances of him actually taking that Rolex and lying to their face as well?
You guys cleaned out the storage unit, and you may have come across it already.
Well, listen, we've got a lot of boxes we're still going through, so.
Okay.
And
that's fine.
Well, the boxes we're just stuck in the garage. So there is no place to put it.
Well, it'll be in one of those boxes.
Okay, babe.
Anyway.
We'll be looking for it, that's for sure.
Yep, and look for that wristwatch inside the mouse droid.
Mouse droid.
It's in the same box as the purple dragon, okay?
Okay. Definitely look.
Yeah, you'll see a whole bunch of other Disney collectibles.
We're having trouble getting any cooperation with the classification people there to get you to sign the POA so we can get the car sold and start a little slush fund here for you for there.
Really?
But,
Well, they say because of where you're incarcerated that
that can't be facilitated with bringing a document back and having it signed. So we told your attorneys about it, and we told them that we would overnight the POA. They could take it in, have you sign it, and I would include a self-addressed returned overnight envelope so they could just drop it off and send it to us. So maybe you can have that conversation with them.
Yeah, because bringing me documents to sign has not been a problem before. When the media asked for my consent for interviews, I had officers literally bring me a form and ask me if I wanted to sign it for consent or not. So I don't think that's really the issue.
So the media's reached out and tried to schedule interviews with you, and you
2 or 3 times,
accepted or declined? Yeah.
Did you talk to them?
No, I've declined every time.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it wouldn't do me any good right now.
Yeah. Well, anyway, if you could have that conversation with your attorneys, that would be great.
Yeah, that should be able to be arranged.
We got a new copy of your birth certificate for them.
Okay.
Which I was going to bring over for them so I can overnight that as well. So again, have that conversation that I could overnight the package along with the POA. They could take the POA into you, have you sign it, and then we could, and then I would include a return envelope as well, and they can send it back to us.
Yeah. As far as a birth certificate, I guess you would just have that included with whatever my belongings they took into storage when I was booked.
Say that again?
No, I don't know. This is for something that they're doing. They wanted to get your records from Sarasota Memorial and from Irvine, California for the kidney surgery, and both of those have their own forms that you have to sign them because you're an adult. You're no longer a minor. I can't sign for them, but so that's going as well.
I got a question for you guys before we continue. Quick question. What would you do if you were a parent to somebody like Pig Vomit? Would you be helping them with everything? I think that's like the ongoing pressing question here. Because if you feel, because in a way, it feels like maybe the parents believe him. Maybe they believe he's done no wrong. I don't know. Okay? I don't know. But there's something interesting about this because you got to remember, there's like 2+ hours of phone conversations. And this is only part 1. All right? But I am kind of curious as to what you guys think. Because again, this is your own flesh and blood. This is your own kid. If you were in the parents' shoes, would you be doing everything you can to help them? When all road signs are pointing towards guilty. There's no question, guys. This is not a situation this is not a Brian Koberger conversation of like, oh, he just went, during the time this whole thing happened, he went out and was looking at the moon and the stars. Oh, touch DNA and all that. No, this is footage. Constant footage of all kinds with Maddie. So I question you guys. Would you still be trying to do everything you can to help them? Or no? Because you know for a fact he's spending the rest of his natural life behind bars. It's done for him. Would you help him? Or no? Now, I will say this. I get it. It's their flesh and blood. It's their child. They brought this child into the world. And honestly, it feels like he's been babied for a long time. Like not once. I could have sworn wasn't he driving his parents' car? Wasn't it his parents' car that he was driving? Taking Maddie from the apartment complex to the side of the road? Was it not his parents' ride that he used? So again, I look at all these things and I'm like how, maybe he's just been babied and they're just in this, the power of denial, right? Never underestimate the power of denial, I guess. But they're still talking to a living, breathing monster that has probably done more than just this to other littles. Let's be real. But let's continue on. Just something to think about. Would you stand there and try to help him out? Or would you just sit there and go, son, you're going to have to pay the price. Deal with it. I can't see you for a while. Bye. You know what I mean? I don't know. Something about this just seems a little bit odd.
You have those documents?
Yes, they're in the.
Oh, okay.
What county was I born in? It was Kane County, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we have your birth certificate.
What was the name of the hospital?
I don't know. Is it on the birth certificate?
Yeah.
Does it matter?
I was just wondering if I ever need to find it for any reason.
Well, Kane County would have it.
Yeah. Okay.
But the hospital doesn't have it. Kane County does.
Okay. So I just contact the court for Kane County, I guess?
Yeah. So it was like $45 to get this copy of this birth certificate. It doesn't say which hospital.
Okay. But Kane County.
But it has, I'm sorry, Copley Memorial Hospital.
Copley?
Yeah.
Was it C or K?
C.
C, okay. Copley Memorial in Kane County. Okay. Just if I ever need to get that and I don't have anyone to rely on, it would help.
We're trying to get a hold of your attorneys that handled the things when you and Joey got run over. But it changed so much, and the partners are split up, and I think one of them is in California that would be the one I wanted to talk to, but I've called and left him a message, and he hasn't returned the call.
Okay.
So we're trying to do anything that they asked us to do on our end, we're doing. And so I don't know. We get pushback sometimes when we ask for information, but
don't worry.
One of them informed me that she was a criminal attorney, not a civil attorney, and getting a POA done was not part of her business.
That was probably Alicia.
Could have been.
Yeah, she's a no-nonsense type.
Well, if she has your best interest in mind, it'd be his best interest to get it done so that we can keep you funded.
Yeah, well, one thing at a time, I guess. If you guys can find my watch, that will be another step in the right direction. It's in there.
There's okay. I just hope that it's somehow that you can really identify it because.
Identify what?
Where is that? What the box?
Okay, leave it on there. We'll just keep it.
Purple Dragon. Top of the mouse.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, it sounds like he's trying to like what I just read from Sarah. And thank you so much, Sarah. How you doing, sweetheart? But just an aside, they're trying to get him to sign a power of attorney, probably to sell his ish. Sounds like support. Sounds less like support and more like trying to tie those loose ends up. Now, again, still, no matter what, they don't have to do it. Shoot, they don't have to help him sell his stuff. They don't. They don't need to. But at the same time, I get it. It's their kid. But then at the same time, this kid did some terrible stuff. So I don't know if I could, I don't know. I could not stand next to pig vomit. I just couldn't. I really could not. I really couldn't. And I'd be like, you need to figure this out yourself. Figure it out. Period. Caught red-handed and then some. Nah, you go and you figure this out for yourself, son. That's just what I think. But at the same time, they're doing everything they can to maybe have him have a less vicious sentence. But I say, hey, you as far as sentencing goes, turn it all the way up to 11 and rip the mother loving knob off. That's what I say. All right. And let him face the music that he is rightfully deserved to face. But that's what it sounds like. He's like, I'm trying to this purple dragon, I need to sell it. It's basically what he's saying. I need to sell all these things because they're expensive memorabilia or figurines or whatever the hell it is, so that he can pay for his attorney and all that. I just, that's what I say. It's to me. You know what I mean?
Wristwatch inside. Okay. What else is new with you guys?
Just going to church, doing open houses. We're studying the book of Romans. I would love for you to read that.
And Lacey's going to have puppies.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm going to miss that.
So the mama just said they're looking for new houses. They're going to open houses. So they're trying to leave their own neighborhood because they're being looked at as pariahs now in their own neighborhood. Let's not forget that. And then she said, I started reading the Bible. And have you how's your relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ? Pig vomit. That's basically what she's saying. I need you to read this. You need to go to the good book and find you some Jesus. Find you that Jesus right now, baby. That's what she's basically saying. Because he needs more than prayer. Okay? He needs way more than prayer right now. Okay? Whoops. Hold on, guys. He needs way more than prayer right now, guys. No joke. No doggone joke. But, let's continue.
I love to see all those little happy little wagging tails and bright eyes and smell all that puppy breath.
Oh, yes.
Do you know when your court date's going to be yet?
No clue. Might not be for another couple months. It depends if they even need my testimony at all.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. I didn't know that, Beverly. Thank you. Dad is a realtor. So, wow. They're still out there working. Thank you. My bad, guys. I thought that they were trying to move elsewhere. Dad's a realtor. Okay. So that's probably why she meant, yeah, that's a good point. My bad. Lo siento, guys. Lo siento. I was just like, okay, they're trying to leave. And I wouldn't blame them. But how's he still able to have work? Keep it real. How's daddy able to go around and do his job as a realtor? Because his name's out here now. Everybody knows what, at least in that town, they know exactly who the F this guy is and who his parents are. Let's keep it a bean, but let's continue.
Which, you would hope they would, but, at some point I assume I am going to see the inside of the courtroom.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Be a pretty strange trial without it.
Yeah. Well, there's been no news at all. So everything's just kind of status quo from where it was last time. Where have you been for the last week?
Couldn't make a call for a little while. Some of the people that work the night shift, as I said, are not as nice to me. So I've been waiting for people who are. And then, I got sick as well. So I've been sick for a few days.
Cold?
Presumably, yes. I've had a pretty bad fever and a sore throat and some serious pressure on my left inner ear. Yeah, like I said, this place is filthy and unsanitary, and obviously they don't clean these cells before they bring a new person into it.
Welcome to prison, everybody. Yeah. It's called prison. He should also be saying, aside from him being like, oh, I got really sick and cold and had a pressure on my left ear. He should also be saying, I've been trying not to drop the soap and watching my rear end, because that's literally what he's been doing as well. Okay, let's keep it a bean. Let's continue, though. Like I said, don't drop the soap, baby.
Did they move you again?
Yeah, they moved me again as well. So I moved out of the room with the ants, and now I'm back into the room with the ants again, too.
Oh, well, familiar friends.
Yeah, they just love moving me, especially around 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm comfortable and trying to fall asleep. I think they do it just to mess with me, honestly.
Prison. It's called prison.
Well, if that's all they do is be happy.
Yeah, well.
What she said. Don't drop the
It
soap.
could be a lot worse.
Yeah, it could. People have survived a lot worse than this, but
Yes.
we'll see what happens, I guess.
Oh, we
But
shall.
when it happens,
Yeah, it's air conditioned in there, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So I've got that at least for now. Although one little room they put me in before was tiny and did not have air conditioning, or at least the air was not circulating in there, so it was hot, it was stifling, and it smelled like a little dog kennel. I'm glad they moved me out of that.
Did you got enough bedding to keep warm at night?
Well, I have one mat and one little thin, scratchy wool blanket.
No sheets on the mat, I assume?
No pillow, no sheets, nothing.
Okay. Well, it's not the Ritz or the Holiday Inn.
1 minute
No.
remaining.
It's called prison for a reason. Okay.
Oh, there's the 1 minute warning. God, these 15 minutes go by so fast, just like my breaks at work. So I'll try to call you back in another 15 minutes, but you know the drill. If you don't hear back from me again, day or two.
Okay.
Okay?
we love you, honey.
Love you
All
too, Mama Bear, but I will try to call you back in 15 minutes if possible.
We'll be hovering over the phone.
All right, bye.
Bye. Bye.
The time is
Crazy. All right, that's one phone call. We got more. Okay. We got more. All right. Sorry, just going to scrub it up a little bit. But again, what are your thoughts so far? I mean, to me, off of just the phone call number one, we're going through 4 different phone calls here in just a minute. Okay. What are your thoughts so far? To me, it feels weird. It's just weird. The phone conversations seem like, I understand it's got to be business. He's only got 15 minutes to talk and do some catch up and all that. And at the same time, okay, let's be real. Yes, he is still a human being. He still has people that he loves, and that his parents, they can't, it's not like they can't love him. They brought him into the world. He did the very amazingly deplorable thing. So again, if you are in the parents' shoes, it's like, what do you do, right? Do you sit there and be as supportive as you can, or do you disown the child, right? But this is a grown-ass man. Let me just remind you guys of that. This is a grown-ass man. Let's not forget that. And for some strange reason, almost still seems, and yes, I know, he's barely a human being. He is a monster. He is still pig vomit. But at the same time, there's still a part of it that's like, still, no matter what, I just feel like for what he is known or is alleged of doing, there is no place, I feel like there could be no place in a parent's heart to just be like, understanding? I don't know. And it's some people be weird sometimes, you know what I mean? Because this is a terrible thing, right? And this is an absolutely terrible thing. Why? And maybe they've already lashed out at the kid. You know what I mean? At Pig Vomit. Maybe they've already lashed out at him. Like, what did you do? You know what I mean? But then again, some people are not like that. Some people aren't so in your face. They just kind of just, okay, you did that. Okay, we're just going to help you out. Some people are weird like that. Like there's no moment of there's no explosion. Now, I'm not saying that there needs to be an explosion, but I'm just saying that moment of like, what did you do? You know what I'm saying? It just seems so much like, oh, we're going to tell you what life is like and all that, as if he's like at some summer camp. He's not at summer camp. Now, I'm not expecting them to like scream at him and be, you did this, but at the same time, I'm like, he's been caught. What he did is disgusting. No conversation about that? None? And maybe this is the reason why he's been able to get away with a lot of stuff. Maybe there was no discipline in his upbringing. Maybe there was none. Maybe there wasn't anything at all like that. No discipline whatsoever. He's been literally maneuvering around in these streets through life over the past 3 decades of his life, okay? Doing whatever the hell he wants, right? Acting like a kid. Purple plastic dragons, for crying out loud. Allegedly stealing Rolexes. And still never getting and realizing and paying for the wrongs that he's done in his life. They still talk to him like he's a kid. They're still talking. Yes, she says, you're a grown man. There's certain paperwork I cannot sign. You have to sign it yourself. Blah, blah, blah. I get that part. But at the same time, it's like, there's no like, what did you do? The hell are you doing? You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And yeah, I don't know if it's the parents so much. It's definitely pig vomit, right? Because pig vomit can definitely go to his computer and type in his name and find out all the things people are talking about online about him. And there's people who have been doing countless hours of content revolving around him and Jenna, for sure, right? So it may be information that he's getting from his parents. It may not be. But the fact that he is still being treated as if he's a child off at summer camp, it's beyond me. But let's take part 2, or this is part 2 of 4, if that makes any sense, in this session. So let's take a listen to this.
I begin speaking now.
Hey there.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, the guard just let me know that she's going to need the phone back in about 5 minutes. I think someone else wants to make a call.
Okay.
So this will have to be brief. Probably the last one of the night, but I'll push it till she needs it back.
All right. Well, better than nothing.
Yep. So anyway.
Waiting for you to call back was long.
What's that?
Just waiting for you to call back seemed like forever.
Turn the light on.
Then it just goes by quickly when you talk.
Yep. Same for me. Time creeps by when I'm waiting to call back, and then just slides by real quickly when we're talking there. Just like I said, just like my breaks at work, 15 minutes is never quite as long as you think it is.
Yeah.
But
hey, how's your eyes? Do you need reading glasses?
if I did, I don't know what kind I would need. For now, they serve their purpose. But even my attorneys noticed at some point that I did seem like I had to kind of squint to look at what I was reading.
Okay.
I think it just depends on how tired I am, how strained my eyes are, all that. But yeah.
What do they have provisions there to provide reading glasses, or what?
Yeah,
or can you have reading glasses?
You can get reading glasses off the commissary, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why don't you check into that and see which ones work for you? And I guess that's the only place you can get them, right?
Yeah, probably. But that would be a matter of trial and error because they have like 3 or 4 different magnifications. I think I have no idea which I would need.
Well, try 150, 1.50, and then go to 175, and see which works.
Yeah, I guess I could.
I mean, can you try them on?
I think you have to buy them. I don't think you get to try them. There's no way to make the order and pay for it and then send it back.
Well, what if they don't work? Can you send them back?
You can't.
I don't know how that works. I could ask somebody, but I'm not sure.
Okay, we'll find out. How much are they?
Like $3 or something like that.
$3?
Something like that. I'm not sure.
What are they, like paper 3D glasses?
They're plastic.
Well, yeah, I'm just being facetious.
Yeah, it could be more. They might be $4 or $5 or $6, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
Yeah, could be even $12. I don't remember. I mean, I saw them, but I don't remember how much the price was.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
How you doing with your stuff that you got from the commissary? You have enough to
Well, he's fat and sassy.
Yeah, I've got enough coffee, hard candies, and saltine crackers to last me through the end of the month here.
Well, that's a couple more days.
Yeah, the other snacks kind of went faster than I expected them to, so I think from now on I'm just going to stick to coffee, hard candies, and saltine crackers.
Yeah, well, once you get your books, you'll have something to occupy your time.
Yeah, but hard candies, saltines, and coffee, those have seemed to give me the best bang for my.
Okay. All right.
Chips and things like that, the pickles and all that, it just doesn't last the way you want it to.
Yeah. Okay.
It's hard to have just one per day, you know?
Yeah.
Especially with the meals like they are, and you never feel full after a meal, so you always feel like in your stomach, especially after dinner, because that's around 6 or 7, and then there's nothing else until like 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So, and you know me, I'm
well, you've had a lifetime of snacking all night long.
Yeah, well, plus my metabolism doesn't help. Oh.
Yeah. So.
See, what's really killing me though is my back and my hips.
The bed.
Yeah, the quote unquote bed. Your bones can right through and rest on the floor underneath. So it hurts hips, and then your knees are resting against each other, and it's tough.
Yeah.
When the lights are on in these pods and Suicide Watch and Medical, the lights are always on overhead, and so they're real bright. So you try to find a way to block it out, and any way you lay is just terrible.
Yeah.
And you get all the debris from the floor that ends up on your mat and your blanket, and it sucks.
Yeah.
Just really keep hoping that something's going to break in my favor with this trial.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I have to have hope about something, I have to maintain some sort of hope, otherwise I've got nothing.
Yeah.
I'm always giving my guardian angel one hope.
Well, you've been there.
Sorry, hold on. What hope? What hope is he holding on to? Hold on.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I have to have hope about something, I have to maintain some sort of hope, otherwise I've got nothing.
Hope on what? Mother lover, you got caught. What are you hoping for? Then he says something else. What is this guardian angel BS?
Yeah.
I'm always giving my guardian angel one hope.
Well, you've been there.
What guardian angel, mother lover? What hope and what guardian? No guardian angel is standing right next to you. Trust and believe.
You've been there for what, 3 months now?
Yeah, at the end of this month, it'll be 3 months.
March, April, yeah, 3 months. So.
Well, like I said, the whole process could take 2 or 3 years before it's concluded, so.
Darn.
And I've already been told that if the prosecution is smart, that they'll drag it out as long as they can.
Yeah.
So, what's going to happen? So, just keep hoping we can find something.
Well, as soon as you get some reading material and we know that arrives safely, then we can arrange for other stuff.
Yep. That will be good, having my own little mini library with stuff that I like to read, instead of just what.
So when they move you from cell to cell, how do you move your stuff around?
I toss it all in my blanket, close my blanket up, fold my blanket up into my mat, and then post it.
Oh, they move you, blanket and mat.
Yep. Typically they'll move me with the mat, but if they don't, I'll take my blanket and everything and just hope that they clean the mat in the new cell well enough, which last time they did not.
Yeah. Right.
I found a whole wad of shit underneath at one time.
So you
prison
get to well, you should maybe complain to management.
No.
Yeah, Yeah, well, I'll be sure to include it in my Yelp review.
Yeah. Yeah.
1 star, accommodations suck, food terrible.
Yeah. Well, the idea is not to be there, but but too late for that.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, Stephan, I could never have imagined that we would all be in this situation. I just couldn't. There's no way I could have ever even visualized this. This is awful.
Yeah, me either, to be honest.
Well, I mean, things kind of went sideways, whatever happened with, so you knew that was going to go down a rat hole.
Yeah, well, I never in a million years that she would not be around anymore, so.
So he clearly believes that, at least at the time of this recording, his parents still, I don't even know. I'm trying to, oh my dear Lord. Parents still just, he playing innocent. He trying to act like he has not done anything wrong. And that's why he's like, I'm holding on to my guardian angel, and I'm holding on to hope. That's all I have, and all that stuff. What? This dude is something else. I cannot believe this. So parents still, at least in the recording at the time of these conversations, still believe that their son has done no wrong. And if I'm correct, this conversation happened in May. Okay, near the end of the month. Okay, of last year, May of 2024. Okay. So again, the fact that they could sit here and you realize there was so much information that came out before this phone call. There was so much information that came out way before this phone call was ever made. And he's still playing like he's innocent. He's still playing like he has nothing to do with the unaliving of this young girl. He's still manipulating his parents to the point where the parents are still believing that he has done no wrong. Even the mom's like, I just can't believe that he could, that we're even in this situation. Now that can mean two different things, meaning like she knows exactly that he did something and she can't believe it, or she can't believe her own son, her own flesh and blood, is being accused of something that he would never, ever do. But again, this guy's playing his parents like that. He's playing it. And still sitting there going, I got to hold on to hope. Miss me with the nonsense.
Yeah. So once that went sideways, whatever happened, that was all she wrote.
Yeah, well, I can handle a lot of things.
What's that?
I said, still has not been heard from except for an interview she did with a newspaper where she told everybody that she did sleep with you guys and she said to sleep with you in the other room.
As I was going to say, I can handle a lot of things, but one thing I just can't reconcile or figure out in my mind or wrap my head around is the fact that, he doesn't get to live anymore. There were a lot of things that I wanted to see for her, She had another year or so before high school. Learning how to drive, figuring out what she wanted to do with her life. I was excited to see where she was going, I was really impressed with the person that she was finally growing into.
Well, got a whole lot to talk about. A lot to own up to.
Well,
I'm sorry. I got to roll that back just a tiny bit. What? This piece of I was really hoping to see what she would grow into and all this stuff. And it's just so tragic. He's still playing. He's playing like he has nothing to do with this. He is still trying to play the innocent role when he has everything to do with her.
Impressed with the person that she was finally growing into.
Well, got a whole lot to talk about. A lot to own up to.
Well, again, I know you can't talk about this, but it's like, it almost sounds like you didn't know something had happened to her.
Well, I discovered her. In the state that she was in after everything was said and done. So, obviously I can't get into detail, but no, I was not aware that she had passed on. As you know, I'm up and down throughout the night, and I was not in the room the whole time.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop. Stop with that crap. I'm rolling that back. He said, I found her. I found her gone. Then why did you move her body? Why would you do all that stuff? And I'm wondering how the parents are going to react to this. But you got to be kidding me. Come on, y'all. This is some trash. This is some trash. Hold up. We go. You got to be kidding. It just angers me, man. Okay? It just angers me so much, man. Because yes, S-Dubs, that's a damn good question, okay? Why wasn't he calling 911? If he found her gone, why wasn't he calling 911? Why did he suddenly go, this is a great idea. A great idea is to take her body, put it in a car, drive out until my tire blows out, and then drag her into the middle of the woods off to the side of, not in the middle of the woods, actually just off to the side of the road, okay, of the interstate real quick, cover her in leaves, jump back in the car, drive back, and act like nothing happened. If the parents are believing that stuff, man, I got something to say. Jeez Louise.
Sounds like you didn't know something had happened to her.
Well, I discovered her.
That's some...
In the state that she was in after everything was said and done. So, obviously I can't get into detail, but no, I was not aware that she had passed on. As you know, I'm up and down throughout the night, and I was not in the room the whole time. And it's not like you just suddenly feel someone's ghost pass away from them. It's a discovery. And
so she wasn't even in the same room with you?
Well, she was in the room that I started in, but I'm up and down throughout the night, and I tend to wander around the house and fiddle around on my phone and step out front, feel the nice cool night air and all that. So I was gone from the room for. Obviously, I really can't get into too many details, but.
So in other words, oh my dear God, he's doing the whole, I needed to see the moon and the stars. So this piece of trash is literally saying, oh, I was up and down, you know how it is. And, I went outside to get some fresh air, blah, blah, blah. So he went out to go see the moon and the stars. I just gonna see the moon and the stars. And he went in and did that. Then came back and she was gone. Meaning she had crossed over. She was found gone. Ain't that something? And then he said, well, I might as well grab her body, put it in a car, drive out, tire blows out. So I'm just going to use this as an opportunity to discard her remains off on the side of the road. Okay, let's hear what the parents say, because even so, the parents are, because I understand maybe the parents aren't getting everything and they want to hear everything from their son, right? So I understand that piece. It's like, okay, he's got some serious legal issues going on, so we got to make sure we help him out. Because in the very beginning, they're sitting there going, there's no way our son would do something like this. There's no way our son would do something like this, right? Then you start having a conversation, which is exactly what was happening right here. It's like, well, we understand. Well, we are hearing, and I know you can't say much right now, but we understand that she was gone. That she was there in the room and she was dead and all that. Can you explain a little bit about this? And now he's giving some BS excuse, basically saying, yeah, I found her. She was gone. I was up and down a lot. You know how it is. And then I went outside to go look at the stars and get some air and came back and she was gone. Let's see what the parents say after this, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't discover what had happened until just around dawn.
Okay.
Huh?
Interesting.
Because I discovered that she was late school.
Well, all I can say, Stephan, is that my heart breaks for you because I know that's something that you never would have done and never would have wanted to have done to her.
Damn right.
Neither would we.
Damn
So
right.
I'm angry on your behalf that it happened, and I'm angry that you got dragged into it by them. So I'm just.
What? Oh my, see, never underestimate the power of denial in parents. They will sit there and they will instantly, understandably to a certain extent, because it's like, my son's an angel. You know what I mean? He could do no wrong. But at the same time, if they're looking at the facts and they're hearing what the investigation, what they found, the evidence that was found against him, they would not be singing this tune right now. Or at least on May 26, 2024. They might be singing a completely different tune now. But back then, this is insane. Because there was so much information that came out around this time. And a lot of it was, oh, he a very, very bad man. Pig vomit be pig vomiting out here in these streets. Deplorable, disgusting things, right? And the fact that they're like, the mom's like, well, I just can't believe that they would sit there and drag you into the middle of this. He dragged himself in the middle of this by doing what he did for several years and then taking her life. But like I said, never underestimate the power of denial. To me, sounds like these are two parents that did everything they can to protect their child in the worst ways possible. They never let this kid understand, or this pig vomit understand, the harsh realities of the world. Never shoved him out there and said, figure it out. Fend for yourself, right? It's always the coddling and the taking care of this piece of work. So much that his mind is locked into this world of Pokemon cards and action figurines, for crying out loud. And look at what we're at right now. Mind is locked in some weird fantasy world where he really thinks he can finesse his parents. And it sounds like, at least right now, that he's successfully doing so. Ain't that something crazy? But I'm sure it'll change over time. Let's go.
Angry.
Was there anybody else at the townhome that was not a regular person?
No, which is why I keep saying that I'm not sure that there's any one person, honestly, to blame. But they're certainly trying to blame me. And according to the autopsy report, like I said, raises a lot more questions. But they seem to be settling on trying to say it's homicide. Like I said, it has something to do with bones in her throat, but take that to mean what you will.
I gotta run that back. I'm sorry, running that piece back real quick. What did he say about throat?
Like I said, it has something to do with bones in her throat, but
that was in her throat.
Take that to mean what you will.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Bones in her throat. Trying to say it's homicide. Like I said, it has something to do with bones in her throat, but
something that had to do with her throat, and then he said, "Take that for what it's worth," or something like that.
Take that to mean what you will.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
But you know, I would never have done anything like that.
No. Yeah. I mean, you're the same person that cried when I asked you to dispatch a little bird that broke its neck or something and was flopping around.
Yeah, same person that cares about people, cries at movies.
Yes, I know.
And there was Skippy.
Skippy, yeah. Rue.
Jaybird.
Yep, I remember them all. Burying them was very hard for me.
Yeah.
And
all I know, Stephan, is when when I look at a picture of you and I look into your eyes, I don't see a monster there. I don't see a bad person there. I see my son who I love. That never will change.
Well, thank you. And I know that I'm not a bad person or an evil person or a monster.
No.
Okay. So just so you know, guys, okay? Because some of y'all are asking this, and it was a super chat, and let me grab this so you guys can see this. Grace, thank you so much for the question, all right, and for the super chat. Were these calls before law enforcement said that there was this is disgusting content that was found on his phone? Now, I just went back and I just typed in into my, into the Googles, and there are videos, even my videos that I put out, that happened in March of last year. This phone conversation allegedly happened in May. So, information and content was found, and people were breaking the news out in March, mid-March, just so you know. This is happening in May, this conversation, near the end of May. We're about to march into June in this phone conversation, okay? May. Now, remember, parents are probably not super technically savvy. Maybe they're not going into the internet and listening and watching what's going on in the news every single day, okay? But there was graphic content found on his computer and his cell phone, and there were conversations being done in the middle of March. So this phone conversation happened around May, late May, okay? This happened in late May. And still, parents are not fully aware of what's going on here. Ain't that interesting? So let's continue on, just so you guys know. Don't worry, let's go.
But you do need to dive into the Bible head first and stay in it, because you need grace and you need God on your side as a warrior on your side.
I keep asking him to help me through this somehow. I know that
And you still don't have a Bible?
I have a Bible. I have a King James version.
Okay. So we're looking into getting your large print Bible. So I want to make sure that this delivery gets to you, and then I can order one from the publisher and get it to you, large print, so you won't need glasses.
Well, hopefully it does. We have no idea how often they pick it up or how long it'll take to get here and get sorted and get delivered, if it does at all. But I haven't received any written notification of anything being returned yet, so.
Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll judge it from there, and so we'll just make sure that we're timing this right. So the Bible will occupy the majority of your time.
Yeah, I keep praying to God for help, for some kind of miracle. I mean, I know I've probably run up my divine credit as far as miracles go, with my guardian angel and God working in overtime to keep me alive as long as they have. But I keep hoping for one more big miracle, one big salvation. And
have you got some way to keep a journal of notes that you would take from reading the Bible?
I can get a pad of paper off the commissary, and I can get more pens and stuff too. I think my commissary is about -$10 by this point, but I know I can get a pad of white ruled paper off of there.
Okay. So do I need to replenish the commissary yet, or wait?
If you want to, yes. But I'm not going to use it on snacks, just on essentials for now.
All right. How much do I need to put in?
$50.
Okay. All right.
It's going to be dropped down to 40 like immediately.
Okay. All right.
We're about to get cut off.
We're just about out of time.
Yep. I'll talk to you later. I love you both.
I love you. All right.
Sorry.
Unbelievable. That's one piece. Hold on, guys. I just want to check something here.
After this message,
We'll be hovering over the phone.
All right. Bye.
Hold on.
Bye.
I think it says the date in the very beginning here. Hold on.
the time is 8:09 p.m.
No, maybe not.
If you believe that you are the victim of sex.
Okay, I thought it had the date in the beginning. So my bad. Hold on. Actually,
Press 1 for English. The time is 7.
So same thing. Okay. But that's very interesting. Now, somebody just put up this thing. S-Dubs, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. I thought the father found the flash drive with the content. I don't remember that specifically. I don't. And maybe they did. Maybe they were the ones that found it. But that doesn't mean it could literally mean that they found the content, like they found the flash drive, and then they just handed it over to the police. They may not have even gone through the footage, right? They may not have even looked through any of that footage at all. That's that possibility as well. Let's not forget that too. They may have just been like, well, here's a flash drive that I found in one of his boxes. Here you go, right? That's possible. And they're like, well, we want to get our hands on that. Because I feel like if the father found that kind of content or found the flash drive and then went through it and saw content on the flash drive, this would be a completely different conversation, I believe, unless his parents are so disconnected to the world, just so disjointed. Like, that's some wild stuff if they were that disconnected. You know what I'm saying? I'd really sit there and go, something's wrong with you. Something's wrong with the whole freaking family, right? So again, he's still sitting there, playing it off like he's done no wrong, that he's the perfect person, that he's a victim, that he's innocent. And that was in May. Okay? That was in May. Now we got two more videos or two more phone calls that happened, and this is partially the conversations that he had on June 1st. Okay? So we're going to take a listen to that one right now. But please do me a favor. Yeah, the mom is in denial. I feel like the dad is in denial too, but it's almost like they're still going like, I don't know. I feel like both of them are in denial, at least in the recordings of these. As we get closer, when we do part 2, we're going to see the change. We're going to see a small change. It's still, the parents seem to be so oblivious, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Again, I just don't know how some parents out here, some parents just parent weird, y'all. Some parents just, they're focused on their own stuff, and they don't even realize what their kids are doing. They just think their kids are innocent and that their kids are angels, when in actuality, they're probably just mean and complete a-holes, right? Like in this situation, these parents feel like this kid, their kid, because it's not like he's a grown man. This is a monster, right? This kid, because they still treat him like a kid, is that he's done no wrong. And maybe because of how he has lived his life, the choices that he's made in his life, maybe they feel, one, responsible for how they raised their child. And then also on top of that, it's like, well, I can't, we tried to change him. We tried to do this, that, and the third. And he didn't want to change anything. Damn it. That's on us. So we take full responsibility on our kid. But the fact that they are not fully grasping on the idea that their son could have most definitely done something like this is absolutely beyond me. The fact that they're not even playing that thought in their head, at least in those 2 phone calls so far, that screams that's just something. Okay? That's really something. But let's get into the second part, okay? Let's rock and roll. Part 2 of this phone conversations. If it pulls up. Hold on. There we go.
Press 1 for English. The time is 7:40.
United States of America.
First minute and 21 cents for each additional minute, excluding taxes and other corrections. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking.
Hey, is this a good time?
Hold on. Yeah, I was on the phone with somebody else, and first time you called in and inadvertently hit the wrong button. Hang on, I'll put you on speaker. Hang on. Okay, I got you.
Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hey.
Somebody's in as well.
He's always in the well.
Yeah.
He's in a big room.
Yep, very echoey. Oh.
Did you get any of the books we sent yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
But I don't have any notification of anything being sent back either. I had
Okay.
a
All right.
meeting with the mental health director a couple days ago. She said they're going to step me down, take me down a step in custody level. So I'm going to be taken off non-acute status, and as soon as a space opens up in one of the regular isolation cells, I'll be moved to one of those.
Okay, good.
Does that mean that we can get a document to you and we can get it signed now?
Possibly. She said they won't put any restrictions on me.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. And when's that supposed to happen?
What's that?
Well, when is that supposed to happen?
Whenever a space opens up in one of those cells.
Oh, okay. All right.
She's asleep on space. This is a very crowded jail. There's over 2,000 inmates.
All right. And you'll still be in kind of isolated protection?
Yep, I'll still be in protective custody. I'll still be by myself. I just won't be under self-harm watch.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I won't be in any of the self-harm pods.
Okay.
So that's
all right. Well, I guess that's better accommodations. You'll have concierge services.
Not likely, but you know, I might actually have a rack to put my mat on, so I'm not going to be on the floor. Maybe I'll have a seat and a table. Who knows? I won't be surrounded by crazies all the time.
Okay.
Or relatively so.
All right.
That should be an improvement at least.
All right. Sounds good.
Yep. Any other news or updates on your end?
No. Everything's still status quo. Somebody sent us a link to a YouTube video that, these amateur sleuths just are relentless. I mean, they just go down any and every path they can go, and so this link to this YouTube video had tracked all your internet activity and all the sites that you had joined.
Dark web.
The dark web, whatever, but some of the offbeat websites. So I'm sure you know what I'm referring to without me having to name them.
Okay.
So I'm just telling you that all that shit exists out there. And oh, by the way, I sped through this 2-hour YouTube video, and your former roommates at the townhome that you rented have ratted you out in ways, and fabricated stories about a shared network drive and video that had been recorded, and supposedly approached your mother about them, threatening to disclose you in these videos, and that we paid them off, which was total bullshit. We've never heard about this until these videos and these asshole friends of yours have managed to get themselves on these YouTube channels and disclose all sorts of shit. Because I can tell you this, if any one of them, and we know who we're talking about, had come to us with that, we would have told them, feel free to do whatever you want. We're not paying you jack shit. If somebody had done something, I suggest you pursue it with them or the authorities, but don't bring this up to our attention ever again.
Oh! Woo! Papa mad. Daddy mad. Woo! No. There's no room for the Jesus Christ today. Daddy mad. Woo! First off, let me just say this really quick. Okay. Okay. Now here's the thing. No, they're not talking about me. Because I didn't have anybody on the show to talk about things. They're talking about other content creators. Because there are other content creators that did like deep dive into his internet stuff and all that. And then there were other people that came forward that were friends of Stephan of Pig Vomit, and basically saying, oh yeah, I'm friends with him, and we just didn't know he was doing this kind of stuff, blah blah blah, right? So there's been a lot of other interviews. Like I haven't had any interviews with anybody thus far to come onto the show, but no, they're not talking about me. They're talking about other content creators, and rightfully so. I mean, not rightfully so with them. I'm saying rightfully so. These content creators are doing their due diligence, dag nabbit, and congratulations to all y'all out there for exposing the truth. This guy's a piece of trash. This man is disgusting. Okay, so people have been diving in and getting all this information and finding out stuff, these dark websites and stuff that he's a part of and all that, and interviewing people that knew Pig Vomit closely, personally. There's full-on interviews out there. Go check it out. But it's aggravated the dad so much that now he's saying flim flarm filth. Now he's swearing like a sailor. He's cursing like a sailor. Ain't that something? Suddenly, we're seeing the real side of his dad. Didn't you see that? He's like, these is S and this BS and this S and then the S and then S. This BSSS and then BSS. I mean, what do you expect when you got somebody who is alleged, well, not even alleged, found red-handed with content he shouldn't even be having in the first doggone place, let alone, let's not forget, content that he was making himself. So real talk, for a fact people are going to dive into that. For a fact people are going to dive in. These S's and S's, this BSS and the S and S and BSS. These damn sleuths, that's the S and S and S and BSS. Listen, man, if you've been caught doing some bad things, what do you think is going to happen? Especially when the internet gets a hold of it. It's like it doesn't let go. Alligator mouth. It just tightens even more. Oh, you want me to let go? Oh, no. We tighten even harder. So it doesn't change a damn thing. It doesn't. He should expect this to happen. But now I can see a little bit now what you guys were talking about the parents. Maybe having something to do with them going into that hearing a couple days ago because they have a problem with the internet sleuths, the internet YouTubers and true crimers out here breaking down and exposing the truth about Pig Vomit. It's not our fault that this is happening. It's your son's fault that this is happening. So talk to that mother-loving ass and curse at him, not at these content creators that are just doing everything. You got to remember, a lot of them are doing it legal. They're just filing FOIA requests, paperwork that's under FOIA. If that happens to come out, oops. It just is what it is. Mommy and daddy, well, daddy mad right there. He mad. He big mad. But you also got to remember, it's crazy because he's still thinking in his mind that his son has nothing to do with his internet stuff. These websites, if you get what I'm saying, he's saying that. This is 5 days after that recent conversation we just listened to. Okay, that recent phone call we just listened to. Either daddy is in full denial, Daddy Pig Vomit is in full denial, okay? Or he's finally coming to terms that his son is a mother-loving monster. Hence the reason, from this moment forth, he has been donned Pig Vomit. Yes. Let's check it out, okay? So much for reading the Bible. Now he's these SSS and S and S's. These BSSS and S's. These doggones. Let's get back to the story, shall we?
I can assure you that we would not have paid off anybody. It wouldn't have been our problem, and we wouldn't have paid for it, period.
So my former roommates are trying to blackmail you into paying them off?
No. They're claiming that they had supposedly come to us and blackmailed us and that we paid them money, which they've described it in two events, one at a restaurant and then your mother supposedly showing up at the townhome with a manila envelope. And you and I know, and we all know, that is bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what? You want to know something interesting? What if they're lying right there? And they happen to be doing this conversation because they knew for a fact it was going to be recorded. Now, I don't think that's, Pig Vomit knows about this conversation. But if you notice, Dad is real quick to jump out and say all this stuff. Oh, they're saying that we paid them off and to stop talking and so on and so forth. Right? Interesting, right? This seems a bit choreographed a little bit. Well, we need to talk to you about this thing. They think that we're paying people off. It's absolute BS. It's BS. It's horse-ish. It's horse-ish. Isn't that weird? Okay. Just just an observation. You know what I mean?
Didn't happen, didn't exist, never did it.
It never happened.
Interesting.
And if they had done that, I would have said, go ahead and do whatever you want. You're not getting a penny from me. It's not my problem, so don't even come to me with it, period.
Are they aware that blackmail and coercion is also illegal?
Well, it's kind of a moot point when you're looking at the number of years ago this was. And right now, it's their word, it's hearsay, but I'm just telling you what these amateur sleuths are repeating. Matter of fact, they even said that we owned the townhome, which we didn't.
We've been living in $1 million homes, and you were a spoiled, rotten kid because of it. And I'm thinking, we've never been in $1 million home.
But anyway, I'm just telling you the bullshit that goes on out there, which is why I don't pay attention to these YouTube videos. But I'm just telling you, your former roommates have, done a nice job of sabotaging or discrediting your character and what have you. So,
okay, ain't that interesting? Because it kind of feels a little bit like, hey, yo, son, I need you to get rid of all the pizza boxes and plastics. What you want to do with? So, what else do you want to do with the recordings, Daddy? Doesn't it feel a little bit like that? BS. Well, this is Pig Vomit. Well, don't they know that it's black male is illegal? Moving on.
Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon, throwing you under the bus and what have you. But I'm just relating this story of that's been repeated a few times about some video being recorded in the townhome, and that they came to us requesting, and we pleaded with them not to disclose it, and we paid them off, which is just absolute bullshit.
You should be very careful about that because they're seriously opening themselves up to a lawsuit for defamation.
Well, it takes money to sue somebody, and you have to prove it, and so no one's going to take a case like that pro bono, and it's not worth chasing.
Stop it! I'm done. Me dead. Okay, I'm done. We're gonna. It's defamation. How is it defamation if it's true? Why do I feel like Ryan Reynolds right now? It's a little Ryan Reynolds-y, but this time it's true. Okay. Pig vomit pool. You know what I'm saying? This is 110% true. If he is caught red-handed. Now, here's the thing with the friends talking and saying anything about being blackmailed or being bribed to stop talking about pig vomit out here in these streets. That's another conversation, right? That's a whole nother conversation. Sure, that's illegal. Just like I said. Well, Dad, ain't that black male, ain't that illegal? That whole thing, that's one thing, right? Yes, it's illegal. Defamation, though, if people are out here, YouTubers are out here just stating the facts, there is nothing illegal or defaming about that. Now, if we were ruining his career and his life because he was an innocent person and he lost his job and all that, which, by the way, did he have a job? I could have sworn he did not have a job. So again, it does make you wonder. He was just lounging around that house eating all the food. Straight up, he was one of those worst type of boyfriends out there. Okay? Except he wasn't smoking herb and just playing video games all day long. He was just eating everything in the refrigerator and playing video games. Okay? And doing Pokemon. So again, for them to sit there and say, oh yeah, this is defamation and we're going to take all these people down. They got nothing. They have no grounds for defamation. So that's ridiculous for them to sit there and say, but then again, still, parents are still in denial. Parents are still in denial. And I get it that they're angry. But let's be real. If they still believe their son is innocent, what are they thinking in their head? They're trying to find any other thing that they can think of to put their anger towards. So they're angry as F right now because they can't be angry at him because they still believe this man is still innocent, which is insane. He said in the very beginning, talking about content that or websites, dark web websites that he would go to. The dad just said that. Daddy Pig Vomit said that. He led the conversation with that. And then it spiraled into this other thing of people blackmailing and bribing and all that stuff. He said in the very beginning of this mother-loving conversation. But he feels so much some type of way because he's like, I can't accept the fact that my son is doing this. I just can't. So I'm going to be mad at everybody else and not be mad at the main person who caused all this stuff to happen in the first place. Yeah, this guy right here. PV. Pig Vomit. Ain't that something? Now they're going, we're going to go after all these YouTubers. Try. Good luck. You got no grounds for anything. But again, proof. Once again, never underestimate the power of denial. This is some wild stuff.
And you have to prove damages, and we haven't suffered any damages.
Exactly.
But I'm just telling you the bullshit that's floating out there.
Suffered no damages. So at least in the conversation at that time, I'm sure they've had no problem doing whatever they need to do in real estate and doing what they do, right? Because the main focus is on PV. It's on this piece of trash. He's going to be locked up in there for a long time, guys. So where's the defamation in that?
That's crazy.
Yeah. But anyway, they've is under search, and they've discovered some of these websites that you've subscribed to, participated in, or what have you. So I'm just giving you a heads up that they are leaving no stone unturned.
Why are you not talking to him about those websites that he was a part of? Why aren't you asking him those questions? Son, why were you subscribed or a member or even on these dark web websites? We are asking you directly because we are concerned and we want to understand more about what's going on here. Son, do you have something to do with the unaliving of this young girl? Can you just tell us that? Like, what's going on here? Like, so he's on these unbelievable, disgusting dark web websites, and you're not automatically looking at the 15 trillion red flags that are flying up in the air in front of everybody else that's looking up this information and finding out the truth on this piece of work. You're not asking that. You suddenly change gears and say, these kids out here, these friends of yours. What about those websites, man? What about those mother-loving websites? You just glossing over that like it's nothing. Come on, y'all. Come on, man.
As they go down a rat hole chasing this shit.
Crazy.
Yep.
Oh.
Don't even try to figure out why they did it, because we can't figure out why they did it, except
Who did it?
the roommate.
Okay. All right, we moved on past that.
Yeah, but the thing is that
See that?
these YouTube sites give people a chance to talk with complete immunity, because they never check them, they never fact check them, they don't care about the facts, they just care about getting people to click on and pay them money for the YouTube site. So,
and supposedly these hosts of these YouTube channels pay these people to provide this information.
That's not entirely true. Well, you know, as a YouTuber, okay, who makes this kind of content, well, not that kind of content, but, you know, I've never paid anyone to come onto a show and have a conversation. Yes, there's plenty of people that will do that. I mean, shoot, even with the whole Diddy situation, okay, there were plenty of people basically saying, give me $1,500 and I'll be on your show. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, that's $1,500 I'm going to keep in my pocket, but you can go to anybody else if you want to, right? And you know, get paid for telling your side of the story, right? But when it comes to this, first and foremost, did you notice that she's, instead of them talking about the dark web stuff, they went back to the YouTube stuff? Because I guarantee you, they're scared to hear what he has to say. Again, denial. Deflection 101. Right? Then also at the same time, you got, they still deflect it to the conversation about YouTubers having interviews with people. How do they know if these people who are getting interviewed are getting paid? They don't know about that. They're just making things up because they're trying to find some sort of excuse to be upset, because they can't believe that their son would be tied up in something like this, period. But the mom is still on the YouTube stuff because, again, denial. All right? Denial. Let's continue.
Well, so whatever that's worth.
and some roommate.
Oh, yeah, the roommate. That's really funny. So reading this interview of the former roommate said that both you and were grossly overweight, and you both had gastric bypass. I mean, I'm just telling you, this shit is just what? I don't. They didn't disclose her name, okay? But you know, to say that you had gastric bypass, which you've never had, and that you were grossly overweight, which you never were, again, is the bullshit that's just floating out there on these YouTube channels.
Well, some had gastric bypass, but
Yep.
it's not a big deal these days.
Understand, but they're saying that you had it. You know,
they're saying that she refused to take her bipolar meds, which she was very forgetful, you know, and didn't do a lot. But they were saying that it was not ADHD, but they thought she was autistic. And like going, no, she wasn't. She wasn't autistic.
It was a question mark. You know, you had one doctor saying that she was possibly on the spectrum, another saying, no, it doesn't seem like it, she's just ADHD. And other doctors didn't know. So it was a question mark.
Yeah. But anyway, it's a three-ring circus out there with these YouTube channels, which is why I don't watch them. Your mother doesn't watch them, but every now and then somebody sends us a link to something. And like I said, I sped viewed it and, you know, came away with a little bit of information and a lot of bad information, misinformation, inaccurate information, but it is what it is. And so I'm not going to bother with it. You know, you have to consider the source and the validity of it, and everybody's highly speculative about whatever they come across, and then they try to make something monumental out of it that just doesn't exist, you know.
I don't know how they can even find jurors that haven't listened to some of this crap.
Yeah.
They can't.
It's tainted. It's tainted. The whole thing is tainted now.
Yeah, they might have to shop it out to a different venue, but even at that point, I think it's going to be hard to find anyone who hasn't heard about all this.
That's true. It's going to be hard for anybody any place to not hear about this story or this case because everybody and their mama knows about this case. Okay. This is disgusting, or at least people who are deep in the true crime world are going to know about this case. But again, you got, and again, they, from my understanding, the parents did do an interview with Court TV. Or I think it was Court TV, but I don't know if they did it with like another YouTuber. But if they did, that would be very interesting as well. Maybe they're like, well, we need to take the narrative and take control of the narrative, right? We need to take control back of this narrative. Maybe that's what they did. But it's been a while since I saw the interview. I mean, this was like 8-9 months ago or something like that, if I'm correct. But again, at the same time, let's be real. They're just trying to find any scapegoat that they can take their anger towards. Okay. Thank you. It was okay. Cause I saw it on, I saw that they were on, Court TV, but they do Court TV. Court TV is a TV channel, right? A TV show. So, okay. They were on a YouTube channel. That's what's up. I have not seen that one. I might have to sit down and take a listen to that one and take a little trip down memory lane on that interview because I'd like to see what they have to say, about this whole thing. But again, still, no matter what, this is a very a jacked up situation, right? And it clearly shows that they are not willing to wrap their mind around the fact that their son is an absolute criminal, okay, and that they did what they did, or that he did what he did. I'm sorry, but the fact that there are other people stepping forward and speaking out and all that, I mean, that's on those people. They have every right to speak on any platform they want to speak on, and if they reach out to these platforms that are out here, so be it. You know what I mean? So be it, right? But again, it is what it is. Let's continue.
Yeah. Well, that's true. And the minute they do hear about it, they're going to go in, and even though they're not supposed to, they're going to go in and check the internet, and they're going to see these things. They're going to believe this stuff because they don't know the difference between truth and non-truth.
Fact and fiction.
Yep. Yeah. And there's nothing. If I go in and say, you people are idiots. You know this never happened, and I can't do that. Because it won't do you good.
You don't want to engage with it.
So, don't want to give them. They're not worthy of the merit of any comments, and they can just enjoy themselves. And then when the truth comes out, then they'll have to do a lot of backtracking. Yeah, right. Okay, sure. But anyway,
I will tell you this, Stephan. You know that we're saved people. You know that we're Christians, and you know that these people came to us many times for help in their living situations, and you know that we helped all of them. I don't understand why these kids think it's so wonderful to jump on this bandwagon and crucify us when we were there for them when they needed us. I don't understand that.
Well, it's because we have fallings out for various reasons, and they can't resist the temptation to kick me while I'm down because they think they can do it with impunity.
Absolutely.
They didn't have the balls to do it when it was free.
What's that?
So they didn't have the balls to do it while it was free.
Yeah.
Well, they were jealous. You know who was always the one with the little, very, very something on his back, the mouth. He was always so jealous of you. He's so jealous of you. And
he sabotaged me at every turn. I mean, if you remember when I was working Quiznos, I was in lines for management, so he started working there. Then suddenly everyone's attitude towards me changed, and he became a manager.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, and it's wild because okay, let me just stand on the other side of the fence for 2 seconds. A mom or a dad is going to be, I don't know. Okay. Denial is a very strong thing here, clearly. At least in these recordings. Clearly, we have more to go here the next time we get back on. We're not done yet here. But what I mean is like, to me, it's interesting because I feel like the parents are sitting there going like, oh yeah, they're proud of their son not now, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it's like, oh, people would go out here and talk all kinds of crazy stuff about you. Denial. Right? You had so many people jealous of you and all that. We know what was going on. There's all these haters that are coming out here talking about you while you're kicking you while you're down, because they still believe, at least in the recordings of these conversations, they still believe that he is innocent, that he's done no wrong. They have not yet once talked about the content or the websites that he was on, which is also very interesting, right? It's, you were such a shiny star, and everybody was so jealous of how shiny you were. Come on. Now, I get it. Parents can be very proud of their kids, but in this moment, there's no reason for them to be proud of him. And if people are going to jump and speak on him, there are things I'm sure that those roommates have seen, or those, little moments where they butt heads and stuff like that maybe showed red flags of him being either a violent or a disgusting individual. I wouldn't be surprised if these people step forward like, yeah, like I lived in the same apartment complex with him and he was a pain in the butt. And here's the reason why. I mean, if he was putting out stuff, or if he ever turned to anybody and talked about what like his desires, his disgusting desires, there's nothing wrong with somebody going on to a show and talking about it, as long as it's true. Now, if these guys are out here talking mess and making things up for the sake of it, then that's sad. That's very, very sad. But at the same time, he should understand that, and the parents should understand that this just comes with everything. This just comes with the territory of being found red-handed and doing something so disgusting.
That's what he does.
There were people in our friends group who, for some reason, were under the impression that I was a complete moron.
You kind of are, yeah.
Mm. Well, they should check your IQ score.
Well, I know he was backstabbing and trying to put himself above me at every opportunity.
Yeah.
Found out a while back that he was even stealing my possessions and selling them.
Like what?
Airsoft guns. I mean, my street board went missing. A lot of my Pokemon cards went missing.
Toys.
So there's the one missing morning.
What are you talking about when you got the roommates? He was stealing your stuff and selling it?
Yep.
No surprise.
Nope.
I believe that.
He needed to support his lifestyle somehow, and did the same thing with his parents' crap too. So.
Yeah.
What else?
I know he peddled his dad's pills.
Yeah, he was a first-class citizen. We all know that, which is why he got kicked out of his house.
Yep. And anyway, I'm going to call you back in 15 minutes if I can, because we got the 1 minute thing.
All right, later.
All right, bye.
I mean, this is, oh my gosh, this is something else. Again, these parents are in full denial. Okay. This is just bad. Real quick, Tina Powers, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Jasmine, thank you so much for being a member for the past 5 months. I appreciate the support. This guy is delusional. So are the parents. Absolutely. I agree 100%. Okay. And there's a part of it that I'm like, I get it. You want to, you want to support you can't believe that your son did something like this and all that stuff. But at the same time, if they are at all in touch with the investigation at all, there's no room for denial anymore. By this time in June, this is June 1st. By this time in June, this should be a huge wake-up call that their son is a monster and that their son did this stuff and that he's going to be locked away for a very, very long time. You can have the best lawyer in town. It does not take away the fact that he took this young girl's life. And then also he's on all these websites and all that stuff. Again, there's no denying those things. The content, the terabytes of content that he had. This is a very sick individual. Very, very sick individual.
Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from
Stephan Sterns,
an inmate at
Osceola County Corrections.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking.
Hey, sweetie.
Hey, I'm back.
Yay.
So, let's spent the last 15 minutes thinking about these yahoos.
They aren't worth the time.
Can't believe that. Just all
That's true.
for all of them that they would try to do this.
You know, these are the same ones that came to you for help and were always saying what a good friend you were, and you would keep all their secrets for them and stuff. But yet they don't have any secrets of yours. They'll make them up just so that they can make themselves sound big on YouTube. You know.
Yep.
It's a sad situation when people are that desperate for attention.
Yep.
Especially when Sir Lancelot was the one going to community college to learn how to be a computer programmer, and he's the only one who could have set up a network if there ever was one. So forget that. That's bullshit. You know, he did it if anybody did it.
Paid for information and decided he would make some stuff up and get paid on my account.
Yep.
Whoever paid him ought to get a refund because he fleeced them.
They don't care. Do you know how much money they made off of it? To have all this purulent information on you, to have people click on. These people are vultures. They're worse than that.
Oh yeah.
Because they don't wait till you're dead to feed on you.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, how are you doing?
You know, I'm hanging in there. Keeping up as best as I can. Did a little bit of exercise today.
Good.
Push-ups, crunches, squats, leg lifts, whatever.
Whatever you can do.
Well, see if you can ask somebody about the book order and see, you know, I don't know how long it takes to have these items delivered, but I don't know. We haven't gotten any indications that they've been returned, so they're in the system, so I don't know how long it takes for you to get them.
Yeah, I haven't gotten any indication that they've been returned either, so still waiting to hear on that. But been praying a lot.
Good.
And,
he hears you. God hears your prayers.
We've been praying for deliverance as well, but I don't know.
Well, Proverbs tells you how to live. Romans tells you how God forgives. So those are the two I would look at.
I've been praying to him to deliver me from all this and give me a chance to get my life back on track. But there might be some kind of slim chance, but I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to jinx anything or get anybody's hopes up. But I'm going to try. Worth a try anyway.
Well, they need to get her out of the hospital where she can be interviewed by the police. They need to bring all her family in, all those bitches that was sitting there at the grandmother's house calling 911 and being ugly to the 911 operators. They already knew what had happened. They all knew. And none of them were acting scared. None of them were acting concerned. They were talking like we're talking now. Like
I think that what's going on, because that's the one thing I'm wondering too. I think Jenna was taken into the hospital, if I'm correct. And I think that's what they're talking about right now. I think so. I think now because if I'm correct, she was like taken to the hospital. And she was there for a while. That's why a lot of people were wondering, where is Jenna? Where's Jen Soto? What happened to her? Why isn't she around? And I think that she went, I think she went to the hospital, maybe to a psych ward. Yeah, I don't know, Wolfie. I mean, maybe it was a psych ward. I don't remember that part. Like I said, it's been a long time since we talked about this. But from what I remember, she was gone. Like she was not. Her car, if I'm correct, was like parked outside her sister's home, and she was nowhere to be found. So there is a possibility that that's what they're talking about here.
Wasn't really anything big going on.
Well, I wouldn't get so carried away with any conspiracy theories.
You don't have to be a conspiracy theory to see the writing on the wall.
Well, at any rate, that's probably not going to help me anyway. So.
And she did, yeah. The mama did say the B word. She said those snitches, those snitches, those little snitches. She did say that. She really did say the B word. Yeah, she really did. It's very, very Christian of her, isn't it?
Well, don't give up anything. Don't give up on anything.
Well, I'm not. I'm holding on to hope until there's nothing left to hold on to.
Well, when you get to the end of the rope, you tie a knot in it and still hang on.
Oh, you know, when I first got here, I was praying to God for strength and serenity, and, He's given me that. Especially lately, I've noticed I've just been overcome by an overwhelming sense of calm and serenity.
Oh, good.
He's working on you. I pray for every day. I pray for him to put fences of protection around you and to hear you calling him.
Well, I have been, and thank him for granting me that serenity. Just been thinking about, how he works, how he uses hardship as a vehicle to move you.
Yeah.
Human
I was in the kitchen making sandwiches, and
this dude.
I started laughing in the kitchen because we were talking about all these people saying stuff, about networks being set up and videos and blackmail and an envelope full of cash. And I'm thinking, damn, they've been watching some movies, haven't they?
I know. I was thinking that too. It sounds like a bad spy movie.
I know.
If you came to the house to pay them off, why would you have bothered putting the cash in a manila envelope if you were going to be inside the house?
Who knows? But then the other one is I went to a restaurant and slid it across the table to them.
I know. Like, what is that? Why not both payments at the house? Wouldn't that have made more sense?
Well, none of it makes sense, and I keep telling Chris, I said, why can't I just offer to go take a lie detector test and put all this to bed? But
And if you're going to bring a large amount of cash, why would you take it out of the bank envelope to put it into a big manila envelope just to take it inside to a house and hand it to somebody?
Why would I give it to those wads of bubble gum anyway? They have the mental capacity of a 2-year-old.
He was a terrible liar anyway. He lied about big things. He lied about little things. He lied to women all the time. He lied just to, make himself seem cooler or maybe gain more acceptance. But he just lied. He was one of those people that lied for no reason. It's like, buddy, you don't have to lie. Like, we already lied to you. You're already our friend. There's no need to lie or build yourself up,
Because they're a habitual liar, and it's hard when you're a liar to keep the truth straight because you change it every time you tell somebody something.
I don't know. I just used to laugh it off and dismiss it.
Yeah, no. It's weird. There's some weird. They're so weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever. He was probably counting his money, walking away laughing, saying, "Thank you, Stephan."
Yeah, probably. Just these people they don't have a moral compass. They have no conscience. They have nothing redeeming about them. I'm sure God can find something, but he's going to have to dig. Well, and I don't think they're looking to him for anything anyway. So
they definitely didn't have any honor or integrity. It's one of the reasons I ended up cutting them out of my life.
No.
It just took me too long to do it. back to what I was saying, I was thinking about, how God uses hardship as a vehicle to move people.
Right.
Human nature being what it is, even if we're not where we're supposed to be in life, we'll stay there if we're comfortable enough. We want to changes, and so God uses hardship as motivation and a vehicle to move us to where we need to be in life.
And you know what he did with me and Dinky?
Yeah.
I remember standing in that pasture over his body, flipping God off and telling him how much I hated him, but that was the reason that I got saved. Because I lost Dinky.
Well, all this happened and, passed away, and that immediately brought me back to God. That was the first thing I did, was begged God to take me and spare her.
I mean, he is finessing the hell out of his parents. It's insane to me. Like we're seeing manipulation 101, basically. He's leaning on God. He's leaning on faith because he knows that's a soft spot for his family, for his parents. He's basically calling the people who are on these interviews and all that, whoever they may be, calling them liars. But then it's like, why aren't you are obviously speaking from experience because you are a liar yourself. So it's this is just insane. It's insane, guys. But welcome to Pig Vomit.
So everybody who loves somebody will do that. So
I haven't stopped praying.
No, if you love somebody, you would rather take their pain than have them have it.
Yeah, I would have died for her, but I've told God, I said, I see what you did. You immediately brought me back to you, and that I had strayed for a long time, and message received. My eyes are open. I just wish it didn't have such a high price attached to it. And it's just, I don't know.
He said I would die. Like, this is ridiculous. Okay. He said I would die for her. Come on now. Shut up.
Sometimes you have to look at why it was taken, and it was her time. God knows what's going to happen to you when you're born. He knows every moment of your life that's coming. So,
I know he has a plan, and every day I've been reaffirming to myself and reassuring myself that I have to be patient and maintain my faith, and have faith that he has a plan for me, whatever it may be, that it will be revealed in time. And that all I
hope so.
Is be patient and maintain my faith in him and trust.
Well, you got to trust him. You got to maintain your sanity. You got to maintain your cool. And like Xavier told me, when he was in jail, the only thing that saved him was trying to keep a sense of humor about the situation, even though it was terrible.
What sense of humor do you have? Oh, good God, stop. And I mean, God, sure, has a plan for all of us. And if he knew that pig vomit was going to be brought into the world, if he knew what his through line, his story was going to be, it was definitely going to be ending with him meeting good old Sparky. Just saying. All right. And if you don't know what I mean, figure it out, because he could be looking at some serious, at the ultimate price, Mr. Sparky, indeed. Okay, looking at the chair. But the fact that he is using every bit he can to manipulate his parents, and he's still in denial, even this far into it, is just beyond. It's just beyond me, y'all.
I don't have much of a sense of humor anymore, to be honest. A very large part of me died when she did.
Well,
I'm not the same person anymore, and I don't think I ever will be. There's some wounds that just don't ever heal.
Well, I'm assuming that they are treating you for PTSD because you found the body.
I still can't believe that they still believe what he said. That he just found her remains. That's it. He just found the body. This is insane. This is insane, y'all.
Not to mention everything else that went along with that.
No, not treating me for anything except my blood pressure.
Well, they need to do the PTSD because you're not sleeping.
Well, you know, it's just, I keep telling myself that I have to maintain my faith. Without faith and trust in God, I have nothing, and therefore I'm keeping that, you know?
Well, just remember that not everybody knows who God is, and not everybody who's walking around is not a demon. Some are demons.
I keep telling God that I trust you and I have faith in you. Please deliver me from this. Please deliver me from the people who are trying to destroy me. And I just want to see my parents again.
Well, we'd like to see you too. It's been awfully quiet without you.
How can you say that with the dogs?
What?
I asked your mother, I said, how can she say it's been quiet with the dogs?
Relatively, I guess. But,
well, yeah, I mean, you know, nobody to say, hey, are you making ramen?
yeah, that ramen was a big hit. Even with, you know, I used to remember she would have such a mischievous little evil smile on her face when I made a fresh bowl of ramen, and she'd try a bite and then steal the rest of the bowl and walk away while staring evil looks and smiles at me. I miss that.
Now he's he's reminiscing on times that he spent with Maddie. Like this is disgusting. I'm sorry. Now he's like, oh, I remember the times when I made ramen and she was just steal it from me, take a bite and then take the whole bowl from me. And no. Like seriously, I'm sorry. I still can't believe that the parents are not believing this, or that are believing this. I'm sorry. I still can't believe that they're believing any of this BS. This is insane to me, guys. It's absolutely insane.
Well, she was a very special child, and I wish this had not happened that way, and I wish a lot of things had not happened the way they happened, and you know what I'm talking about?
Yep, me too.
So I don't understand that. I don't think there's ever anything that anybody could say to me that would make me understand that. So I'm not even going to go further than that into it, but just know that I don't care what you did. There is nothing that would make me hate you. There is nothing that would make me turn my back on you.
Well, I appreciate that, Mom. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, sweetheart.
And, you know, just going up for visits and bringing new snacks or new treats for her to try, or showing her new video games or her games and things like that. You know, I miss that.
Oh, we got the 1 minute notice.
Yeah, there it is again. Well, I'll try to call back in another 15 minutes, but you know the deal. If you don't hear from me then, I'll try to call back in the next few days.
Okay, we'll catch up to you then.
Love you,
All
honey.
right. I love you too, and I'll try again in 15 minutes, okay?
Guys, this is just, I got to be real. It is very tough to listen to all this because we already know what he has done. Long story short, because again, this is not there's room for a debate of whether he did it or not. Okay. This is not a Brian Koberger type of situation where there could be reasonable doubt. There could be possibilities of him not doing it himself. There's maybe it was planted, blah, blah, blah. Right. Like, and here it is. You guys already know how I feel about the Brian Koberger situation. I mean, I really don't see somebody needing to go see the moon and the stars at 3-4 o'clock in the morning when all this stuff goes down. It's just all the things are way too convenient, in my personal opinion. Okay, but moving on. When it comes to something like this, there is no debate. He was found. He had content on his phone, hard drives, flash drives, etc., of disgusting, disturbing content with Maddie. And there was no denying that it was him because he has birthmarks. He has a definitive birthmark in a specific area on his body that was depicted in these videos and these photos. So there's no denying of anything aside from the footage from security cam footage showing him driving her lifeless body out into the highway and trying to discard her body somewhere, etc. There is so much that shows without a shadow of a doubt this man did it. Okay? There's no question. But it's wild to me that by June, which we're not done yet, we're gonna be listening to more a little bit later. Okay, we'll be doing a part 2 here very, very soon. But what's even more wild to me, okay, is that he's still playing it with his parents. He's still playing the game with his parents. He's using faith. He's using playing the innocent, okay? He's being all like, oh, I'm innocent and blah, 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 and I'm asking for God and blah, blah, blah. And that's keeping the parents, their speculations and whatnot, at bay. Now, I get it. There are going to be parents out here that believe that their kids could never do wrong. They'll be like, I remember when you did this thing in grade school or in high school or even college. And they'll hold on to those wonderful moments because they're the most pinnacle, most proudest moments that they can remember that their kid did. They did the impossible. I'm so proud of my kid because they did this several things during this time. And it shows that kid is an amazing kid. And that was my kid that accomplished those things. But now you got this situation where you got this piece of trash doing something unbelievable to this innocent, beautiful young girl. Sure, you can have all the amazing stories in your mind, memories of your kid doing amazing things back in the day. It does not change the fact that this person is being held up and has been found with content that has something to do with this little girl. You can have all the amazing moments. Oh, when you graduated college or graduated high school, I was so proud of you when you got that job or learned how to do this, this, and this, got that certified in this, that, and the third. Doesn't change anything. If your kid did something monstrous, that kid did something monstrous. It doesn't change anything. Doesn't matter if he hides behind the Bible. Okay? It does not matter if he hides behind the Bible. It still shows that this person, you still have proof that this person did a terrible, terrible thing. What's sad is, at least in the very beginning of these phone calls, the parents are still wrapping their minds around the fact that he is innocent and that he's being falsely accused. Obviously, time will change, I'm sure, and there'll be more information being said. But you could tell, even him talking about the memories of her and whatnot. I mean, and he's still trying to play like he's innocent. It's disgusting, guys. Okay? It's disgusting. At some point, the parents have to come to some sort of realization that the kid did this. That their own flesh and blood, that the one that they cultivated, that they coddled, doted upon, made sure that he did not starve, that he had a roof over his head, clothing on his back, the things that he needed, did something deplorable. At some point, that realization, that reality needs to be set in place. Does it happen later on in these phone calls? We'll find out. We'll find out soon enough. But again, guys, at least in the very beginning of this, never underestimate the power of denial. It is some wild stuff. It is beyond me. And again, may God have mercy on his soul. He's looking at some serious time, and he's looking at something bad too. he might be seeing Mr. Sparky. And I don't think he wants that to happen. But he's been caught red-handed, guys. It's a wrap after that. But guys, we are going to look at more of this most likely later on today because I'm trying to do a little bit of catch up. I couldn't do anything yesterday. But we will be back on most likely a little bit later on this evening to listen to part 2. I'm going to try to see how much I can get into part 2. And hopefully we can get majority of it done in part 2. All right. But again, some crazy stuff is going on here. And the fact that he's manipulating his parents in real time as we're hearing these phone calls is pretty wild. The fact that he's still sitting here believing that he has done no wrong is insane. But when we listen to these phone calls, maybe we're going to get more explanations on why. What his explanation is, right? Why would he take her body and drag it out off to the side of the highway? Why wouldn't he just call 911 if he saw her remains, if he saw her and she was unresponsive? Those are things that need to be answered. And hopefully the parents ask the question. But we'll see what happens here, guys. But anyway, guys, that is the video. That is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. Of course, it really means a lot. I will be doing a part 2 a little bit later on this evening, so be sure to tune in. Because like I said, I'm trying to do as much catch up as I can before the start of this week. You know, the news be newsing out here pretty hardcore. But do me a favor before you head out, hit that like button down below, hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. If you are watching on those other platforms, make sure you hit that follow button, follow. Subscribe here on my main channel. Go to my secondary channel, The Pascal Show Clips. Go and subscribe over there. That'd be greatly appreciated. Hit that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. Check out my locals. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. Man, oh, man. Crazy stuff, guys. But we'll talk here soon, all right? I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Much love to you guys. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.